All right, here with Atlee head basketball coach Shirley Axselle. His team wins at 66-44 over Varina in the Class 4 state championship. Coach, just how you drew it up, 26-1. You blow out the Capital District rival after you beat him in the region final. I want to start off, and I know you have a ton of respect for Coach Randolph and the Blue Devils. He was brutally honest with us in the post-game presser, saying he didn't think his kids took you guys seriously. I think in reference to the first time, and maybe even partially tonight. How much did your kids sense that, even the first go-around, and did that help you for this matchup, even though they knew the stakes were higher and it could be tougher?
Yeah, I don't. Our kids said they were, typical game talking trash, but I think they thought it was normal, and they did not feel like Varina took them lightly. So it's surprising to me, and especially tonight after we beat them the first time. It was a good game, down to the wire pretty much until the end. We pulled away, but I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't take us a little bit more seriously.
How about Connor Wilcox? We know about Will Hopkins, who's likely going to get state player during Class 4. Yeah. We know about your son Knox, who was dialing it up from deep, 14 points tonight. I think he's a team comedian as well, but. Wilcox, I mean, you guys know him, you see him all the time in practice, but to go out here and get 18 and 8 in that breakaway gem in the fourth quarter, that sent your student section that packed his house into a frenzy.
Yes. And like I said, earlier, he started out this year, wasn't shooting very well, then sprained his knee, was out 6 games, and then we went to play in the Lake Braddock tournament. He got the flu, so the beginning of the season was rough for him. He couldn't get it going. And then after the Lake Braddock tournament, we had 2 weeks off. And so he kind of got himself together, got his shot going, and he's just been playing really well since that time. So, first team, when you make first team all region as a freshman, you're a player. And so he got it going the second half of this season. And he's very good tonight. He's got to be really good next year. So the thing about Connor, he can shoot, he can post up, he's getting better off the dribble. So he's got a well-rounded game.
Even though you're always worried as a coach about the time and can we hold this, I felt like from afar watching into the third quarter where you pushed it from 7 to 11 and brought this up to Will and your guys was a big deal. How much did you sense the way you close out periods and those little small things, the tip-ins, the extra plays, that typified your whole season?
Right. And the kids, they've been making big plays all year. And I did not feel as comfortable as you did at the end of the third quarter. I was still worried, even though we had played well, but I know what Varina's capable of. And we did not handle the ball well versus glass, and we turned it over too much in the fourth, and I knew Varina knew that, and they're going to come after us. And so I was kind of worried that we were going to have a repeat. But we turned it over a little bit, but we made enough plays to keep them at bay.
How do you hold them to 2 of 20 shooting? Some can be their doing, but a lot of it has to be your defense, and to keep Brian Mitchell, who is so explosive, from taking over a game like this.
Well, that's the key is the first game we held him to 4 points, or he, again, we do some, he does off game, and tonight kind of the same thing. We can't let him get going. And we know, Caleb Struthers got going the other night. I don't know how many he had tonight.
16.
So he's the last 2 games he's played. So one guy can go off. We can't have multiple guys. And we were kind of worried. I saw Mitchell post up a little bit versus Hanley. I was kind of worried he was going to do that again tonight. We doubled down on him a couple of times, and it helped. But I think our defense was solid, and some of it he just didn't have a good night.
When you're in these championship spots, first time for you, we've seen it with Green Run in Class 5. We've seen it in Class 6, other classes. When you have that veteran guard like a Hopkins, how much does it just make everything else kind of fall into place?
Well, I think the key is you got Will who can handle it and Shields can. So you got 2 legit point guards. So if they take Will away, Shields can handle it, or vice versa. So when you have 2 guards like that and you're getting shots most every time down the court, you got a chance to be a pretty good team.
Lastly, you know how great the basketball is across the 804 in Richmond with the likes of John Marshall, with LC Bird, and so many teams. Varina's been a king of the mountain. Hopewell's playing for a state championship. What's this mean to you, the Atlee community, and to pull this off against another Richmond team in the Siegel Center?
It's pretty cool. I think everybody's probably a little surprised.
Are you to a degree?
Like I said, we had our 3 main scorers back, and then 2 or 3 weeks before the season, Will comes in, and I'm like, okay. He kind of turbocharged an already good team because we won 16 games last year. I was like, we're going to be pretty good again. And then, again, he comes in and just makes us take it to another level. So I thought we had a chance to get to the state tournament before he came in. And then when he came in and he started playing well and it all kind of gelled, I was like, okay, we might have something going here. Again, to win the state, it's kind of crazy to think about, but I knew we had it. I knew we had a shot.
Congratulations. Go enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.